interesting.
Yeah, when I mentioned about the nepotism in Missouri, it's there. I mean, kids, and it's a friend of a friend who does this, and or just my second cousin and all that. And it's a problem down there because Missouri does not have a recall like Nebraska does to recall a scurrilous board member. If there was down there in Missouri, holy smokes. So they run wild. They have to commit a felony in order to get off the board, and then has to go through the process. And so they don't have the check and balances Nebraska has, and should be applauded for that. But the number one thing when I read this and talking about, I am not a great fan. In fact, I disdain the electronic application processes that our district, because it was so big, had to go to, because we'd have 40 or 50 or 60 applicants for a position, and you have those online applicants, and the answer to those little set questions. And the references that are provided are not worth the paper they're printed on. You can't go by the references that somebody, it's like Trump's tweets with 140 characters. You can't give a decent reference in that little bit of reply that they ask you to do on those electronic searches. It can give us springboard, but you have to be so much more diligent. You have to call those as they've been. You have to check with the communities. You have to do so much more than just go by those electronic references, which are sometimes from a coworker, sometimes from, you notice who's not giving a reference. You can do those types of things. All those red flags you look for, spaces between employment, reasons for living, that kind of thing, but you have to do more on reference checks. You have to do more for reference checks. You owe it to your districts and the kids, and certainly you all know things that have happened even here in good old Nebraska, where somebody was hired and boom, you know, holy smokes, did you know they did this? And no, we didn't know they did this. And so reference checking, I just emphasize that more and more. You can't do too much. I've gone and made visits in the town they came from. I've gone into the coffee shop, the barber shop. I've done all those types of things. If there's anything at all before you're pulling the gun on who you're going to hire, send somebody out, do some scouting, make some random calls, ask them for somebody who really dislikes you, and then they can fill you in why they dislike this person. So references before you'll just once you've saved yourself all the agony from, because you did a really good job checking references, you'll know the feeling, and you'll definitely want that again and again. Reference checking has to be done. That's it.
I don't know if it would be our biggest HR challenge, but it's certainly a challenge. In the teaching ranks, I think getting diverse candidates for us is incredibly challenging. Even being in a large metro area, we're on the southern end of the metro, or in Sarpy County, but in conversations with other metro administrators, I know it's a challenge. We want to have a diverse teaching pool, and I will tell you, Pacoima Vista is very, very white. Very, very white, very, very middle class, and as we increasingly, all of us become more diverse from a variety of standpoints, having our teaching and professional force reflect our students is important. I think we can all agree to that. A little bit of a different challenge in the administrative ranks is gender balance. We have 15 elementary buildings. I would tell you our elementary principals are predominantly female. That's okay, but I do think that having more male leadership, there are differences in my experience. You may disagree. I think sometimes having that diversity of gender with leadership is important. Program, for at least us, it's just the opposite of the secondary. It's overwhelmingly males. Our ADs are males. Our assistant principals are male. Our principals are male. We have 5 secondary buildings, 3 middle schools, 2 high schools. I think there's probably some reasons why we have that predominantly female at the elementary, predominantly male at the high school, but that's something where, frankly, we need to do a better job of getting balance. For me personally, the biggest challenge with HR is when a problem does get to my office, and either having the difficult conversation